So I want to talk about mental fatigue. It's not normal to have foggy brain or to be tired in your head. These aren't normal things. That is inflammation happening in your brain. So you want to think of your immune system in your brain. You have a third of your brain tissue is these things called glial cells. And that is the cells that create they're your immune system in your brain. And they create inflammation, but they don't really have an off switch. So because they don't want anything there, there's this cool thing called a blood-brain barrier. And that blood-brain barrier keeps stuff that shouldn't be there out. Seems simple. And if it gets through, we call that a stroke. Not good. But when your gut is off and leaky, it's the same type of barrier. Your brain can get really leaky. And when that happens, then you have these little immune cells in your brain. They're kind of like chihuahuas with bazookas, right? They're jumpy little dogs with big guns. And they create this systemic inflammation inside your brain that causes you to have this brain fog or mental fatigue. And the problem with that is you're destroying your brain. Leave it for 20, 30, 40 years. You'll have dementia. That's where it comes from. You don't wake up one day with that. And if you're starting to notice that you're having memory issues, or you walk into a room and you can't remember what you're doing, or you notice that you're fine and then your brain gets really tired, these are all symptoms that this is going on with you. And you need to get yourself a good functional medicine doctor to really help clean up all the stuff that's going on. And here's the bad news. There's no one size fits all. You got to heal your gut. You got to make sure you don't have a fungal overgrowth. You got to make sure you don't have a bacterial overgrowth. You got to make sure you don't have a parasite. You got to make sure that your blood sugar is even, that your adrenals are working, your thyroid is working, and your sex hormones are being produced. You got to make sure you're not allergic to those things, that you're not eating foods that are like bombs for you. Like all the stuff that has to be done comprehensively, that you don't have nutrient deficiencies, that you don't have toxicities, that your liver and gallbladder are working properly. This is what we look at, right? It's not just here's your symptom, here's your pill. It doesn't work that way. You got to really get in and dive in and uncover, like, what's your perfect diet? How do you get rid of infections? How do you rebuild the microbiome? How do you build up reserve? Are your nutrient levels high? You have to figure all that stuff out, because if you don't, the cost is your mind. Kind of a big deal, right? I think it is. And it's also part of why we're having an epidemic of dementia. And we have it now like it's normal. It's not normal to lose your mind. Okay, having said that, I have had a lot of patients as well that come into me with some early stage cognitive decline, and we can reverse even that, right? There's a lot that can be done. So if you aren't having somebody tell you this, you got to find somebody who will and help you navigate this, because a lot can be done. That's in the later stages. And in the early stages, when you have brain fog, don't ignore it. It's a big warning sign. Hope that's helpful.